want to show you who we're dealing with. And there are a couple of people that are floating around Trump's orbit that are problematic and scary for everybody, and there's issues with them, and we will deal with them as as they come. And again, our laws and institutions will still hold. They will wiggle them as much as they can, but a big portion of them will still hold. And the funny thing is Donald Trump, if he survives his first term and is voted out the next time, he will still commit a crime on his way out the door that's prosecutable. He'll just do it. It's what he does. He's a fucking idiot. Is there concern about Stephen Miller? Absolutely. And that's why we have to be in a position where our states, our governors, our houses of representation, our, the places where we are have, protections for people who are vulnerable. And again, if you're in a panic, you're no good. So what are my thoughts on the 25th Amendment? Considering I will probably, yeah, I honestly, I think they would have thrown 25th Amendment at Biden middle of next term at some point because he's older. I think they would roll Trump around like Admiral Pike in a fucking chair, drooling on himself, rather than give him up because he's a cult head for them. So they're going to leave him. He'll, like Trump's last year in office, he'll just be farting they'll probably pull out Roosevelt's wheelchair and have him sit in it just for, I've decided this is my new chair. And he'll just, and then they'll just, it's like I said, Don Jr. is going to come out and go, make America great again. It'll be Weekend at Bernie's. All the things they said about Biden are true of Trump 100 times over, and he knows it, and they know it. And this, the stress of all this shit, it's done its damage. He's an old man. It's not good. The irony that if I didn't think he was a terrible person and deserved what's happening to him, it would be elder abuse, especially on him. So anyways, let me show you something real quick. And this is well, consider these get to know him files. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a video from the Tesla space, which I think is just one of these. I don't think it's an official Tesla. I mean, it is. It's an official channel, so maybe it is. They own this or whatever. But this is where Colossus is. This is Elon Musk's big supercomputer, and we'll watch this. This is about 10 minutes long. It's not that long, but I want to look at. I want you to know kind of who we're dealing with and all that kind of stuff. Don't underestimate Vance and Teal. I am not. That's why I want my wits about me.
Elon Musk and his XAI.
By the way, have you seen him lately? I think he's aging worse than Trump.
Startup have built the largest and most powerful artificial intelligence training supercomputer in the world.
Okay, so training supercomputer, okay, large language model things being what they are. He built a refrigerator full of servers. Awesome. Good for you. Congratulations. You'll notice that there's a lot of the same languaging, sales language you will hear from other people, like, or from Trump, that he's selling the same bullshit. Most powerful, the biggest, the greatest, the whatever. It is by no means any of those things.
Elon has named this beast Colossus. It is
based on NVIDIA GPUs. Now, okay, here we go. Is it based on a Tesla GPU? Did he invent a new AI server that runs his shit? No. He's just got a bunch of these things, and they are the exact same ones everyone else is buying. The only difference is Microsoft and Apple, and I think Meta as well, beat him to the punch and bought the new chips that are coming out that are better, and he's still running on last year's model. So, and this video is from 4 days ago. Hold on, let's continue.
Is equipped with the latest NVIDIA GPU hardware.
No, it is not. The latest as of February, which is a full generation back by now.
It's liquid cooled with vast amounts of water and is powered by giant Tesla Megapack batteries. Elon believes that
which are arrays of rechargeable AA's.
All of this combined will create the world's most powerful artificial intelligence.
It certainly will, won't it? It will. It will? Didn't he just tell us it was the most powerful? Is there a difference between now and tomorrow? Okay. You see where I'm going with
one
this.
that will literally solve the mysteries of the universe.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it won't. No, it won't. Also, I'd like to remind you that all of Trump's evangelical followers think this is Satan.
And what we see today is only the beginning.
Yes, it's the beginning of the greatest. It's not the greatest yet, but it will be the greatest.
This is what's inside Colossus.
No, it isn't. That's stock footage of columns of blue lights.
Location is Memphis, Tennessee, in an...
Yeah, that's right. It's Elvis AI, ladies and gentlemen. I think I've come up with a... I think I've come up with a good answer. Now, I might be what they call hallucinating, but I'm pretty sure the answer is jelly donut.
Industrial park southwest of the city center on the bank of the mighty Mississippi River. The building...
The mighty Mississippi River. That's right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to tell you that this supercomputer space is in Memphis, Tennessee. I wouldn't call it the heart of the South, but I would call it the spleen of the South. And because it may be optional, we don't know. It might be necessary, but it's helpful. So this is in Memphis, Tennessee, completely surrounded, by the way, with gutted. It's a factory down by the river. That's right. It's in a van down by the river, surrounded by mega churches and nothing else. And everyone in those mega churches right now thinks AI is the Antichrist and that Elon Musk is the devil. Hey, don't ask me about buttered sausage, okay?
The building itself wasn't constructed by XAI. It was previously home to Electrolux, which is a Swedish appliance manufacturer. So,
yeah, they bought an old factory. We know.
If you've been wondering why Elon chose Memphis and not Austin, it basically just comes down to finding the right building in the right location to get this thing up and running as fast as possible.
Yeah. You know what the other one is? Water, dumb fuck. Do you remember that whole mighty Mississippi thing? There's a distinct lack of Mississippi River in Austin.
Now, as unassuming as the exterior of Colossus might be, it's what's inside that counts. And
gee, is that true of other server farms?
Inside is the largest AI training cluster in the world. Currently, over 100,000 NVIDIA HGX H100 GPUs connected with exabytes of data storage over a super fast network. NVIDIA
is so super fast.
CEO Jensen Huang has said himself that Colossus is, quote, easily the fastest supercomputer on the planet. And it was...
Yes, it makes mistakes quicker than anyone else.
All built to power Grok, an AI model.
Yeah, so, yeah, Grok, if you haven't noticed, is Elon Musk's dick AI. It's dick AI. That's what it is. It's cock. It should be called cock AI. Because it's just a cock. Like it talks to you like shit. It doesn't really, it's got the same limitations as other shit. And the funny thing is that you'd think it'd be like, ah, fuck, you can look up anything. Like if you want to know how to make fucking ricin, it'll tell you. It doesn't. It's got the same limitations as everything else. And because of that, it's got the same material limitations on what it can process too.
Model that Elon Musk and XAI will evolve into something far more capable than a simple chatbot. This is the...
It will. It will. Trust us.
Breeding ground for artificial super intelligence. The entire facility as we see it was built in just 122 days. That is insane.
No, it is not. They didn't build it in 122 days. He took over Electrolux and then they set up warehouses next to it.
Traditional supercomputer cluster would have just one.
Again, expect a lot of nerding out because Trump thinks Elon Musk is going to figure out all of his problems. I'm telling you.
Half to 1/4 the amount of GPUs as Colossus, but the construction of those traditional systems would take years from start to finish. The training work happens in an area called the data hall. xAI uses a configuration known as the raised floor data hall, which splits the system into 3 levels. Above is
fascinating
the power, below is the cooling, and in the middle is the GPU cluster. There are 4 data halls
yeah, asshole, that's how all of these work.
Inside Colossus, each with 25,000 GPUs, plus storage and the fiber optic network that ties it all together.
Cool, where do you store the dildo? This is so dumb.
Colossus uses water for liquid cooling. Below the GPU
oh, that's what water looks like.
Cluster is a network of giant pipes that move vast amounts of water in and out of the facility. Hot water from the server is sent outside to a chiller, which lowers the temperature of the
That's one of the reasons I needed you to see this. Right there. What does that say? Hey, maggots, I know some of you are here. Come here. What does that say? Real quick, you think there are pipe manufacturers in the United States? You think they exist? You think there's somebody who makes pipes? American pipe? You think we can lay some American pipe, motherfucker? Yeah? Anybody? Think so? Maggots, where are you now? You were ready to jump and make your big body X for him, right? Made in Mexico. Okay, there we go. We'll continue.
Water by a few degrees before pumping it back in. This doesn't necessarily need to be cold water, though. Without getting too deep into thermodynamics, just remember that energy always travels from hot to cold. So as
brilliant. Where did you read that?
As long as the temperature of the water is lower than the hardworking GPUs, which get pretty hot, then the excess heat energy will be drawn into the water as it flows past and heat will be removed from the system. Here is what the
Yes, this is how liquid cooling has been working in desktop PCs for, like, yeah, dude, I have one of those. Okay, maybe they're talking to dum-dums, so we'll give it a pass. Maybe this is new to some people. And by the way, I apologize as a nerd if I'm blazing past some of this stuff where you're like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't realize that. So cold water makes hot stuff not as hot. When did that start?
Those GPU racks look like.
I've noticed that when I make eggs, sometimes when I run water over them, they're still hot, but not as hot, but my fingers still go owie.
Each tray is loaded with 8 NVIDIA H100 GPUs, the current state-of-the-art chip for AI training. That will change
for AI training. Notice how they keep going back to AI training, and it keeps saying training, not processing. Training.
In a relatively short amount of time, and Elon already has plans to upgrade Colossus to the NVIDIA B200 chip when that becomes widely available, but
widely available. When does that happen? Oh, he's in line behind Microsoft and Apple and Meta. That's when. You know why? He could have. Yeah, I guess he had. You know, it's about probably $8 billion to make sure you have. You know, you could have bought your way to the front of the line, but he spent it on fucking Twitter. Do you see where I'm banking that again? I'm not pushing aside the seriousness of the damage that these assholes will seek to do, but I'm telling you, at least don't believe that they are fucking beating you at risk. Yeah, thanks, Joe Biden, for the chips. Well, everybody else will, yeah.
But for right now, there's no time to waste. There are 8...
Yeah, because he's behind. You know, anybody remember what did Elon Musk say about a pause? Remember the pause? We need an AI pause. Hold on. Let's see if I can show you that one. Elon Musk calls for AI pause. Yeah. Okay. What is Elon Musk calling? 6-month pause. There it is. This is, when was this? This is... And yeah, March 29th last year. Hold on one second. This was the Elon Musk and others, whatever, calls for a pause in AI, citing profound risks to society. More than 1,000 tech leaders, researchers, and others. By the way, these are not the people who run the companies or the people above them at all. And he invested in OpenAI, so whatever. Signed an open letter urging a moratorium on the development of the most powerful artificial intelligence systems. Chief executive of Twitter, blah, blah, blah. There are more than 1,000 tech leaders, including Elon Musk, have urged open letter to AI profound risk to society and humanity. AI developers are locked in an out of control race to develop and deploy more powerful digital minds that no one, not even their creators, can understand, predict, or reliably control. Others who signed it were Steve Wozniak, Andrew Yang, Rachel Bronson from the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists to do the Doomsday Clock, like all the people you would expect. But the question is, why did Elon Musk sign on to it? Because he's behind. He wanted time to catch up. This is his, hey, wait up, guys, nerd approach that he will never, and he's never going to outlast it. He's never going to catch up. He's too far behind. There's going to be a point where most people won't notice the difference, but in its functional use, there's a bunch that are far. I mean, that's why he's doing like these promo videos.
Of these racks built into one cabinet with a total of 64 GPU chips and 16 CPU chips in every vertical stack.
Yes, if you'll notice, the uniform size of these things and the uniform size of the things they are in. That's how big all of these things are. Everywhere, all the time.
Each of the racks has its own independent water cooler.
Yes, Velvet says there are real researchers. Yeah, here it is. Velvet Magneta says, I'm going to make you pop in here. Hold on. Where'd you go? Yeah, here it is. There are real researchers, though, asking for a pause. Absolutely. Yes, that's my point. Wozniak and others, I think they mean well. But why did Elon Musk ask for one? Because he didn't pause his own shit. He still continued with Grok the entire time he was participating in this. He didn't stop. He's like, I'm stopping. He didn't. You know why? Because he wanted them to stop so he could catch up. That's my point. Right. And he ain't gonna.
Cooling system with these small tubes that lead directly into the GPU housing, blue tubes for cold water delivery, and red tubes for hot water extraction.
Fascinating. Yes, you'll see that these things are in a uniform fashion. Many of these, the red one is the thing that says hot on it. So don't touch that one, kids. Motherfucker.
Extraction. The beauty of these GPU racks built for
is that apparently he didn't get enough chips to fill one more rack above them, I suppose. He could have had a whole extra full rack of processors, but he couldn't afford them or something.
by Supermicro is that each one can be pulled individually for maintenance, and it's serviceable on the tray. That means the entire...
Yeah. Brilliant. How did Elon Musk think this up? Oh, he looked at other server farms and went, do that, but get me more of them. Great, cool. Does that make the software better? No.
The entire cabinet doesn't need to be shut down and disassembled just to replace one chip. The technician...
Yes, that's how all server farms work, motherfucker.
Can simply pull the rack.
Here's the important part. Jesus Christ. Is that this is the Tesla space, which is a verified channel. So I guess I don't know if they're promoting him or they're part of him, but either way, they've got a newsletter, the Tesla space. They sell all this shit. So they're in line. They got 500,000 subscribers on this thing. But imagine, I mean, this is smart stuff for dumb people. Yeah, it's an Elon Musk is a cup for dummies video. That's exactly what it is.
Perform the service right there on the tray and then slide it back in and get back to training. This is unique in the AI industry.
Yeah, get right back at it. Hey, jump back in there, kiddo.
Only xAI has a setup like this, and it will allow them to keep their downtime to an absolute minimum.
Gibberish. Only X has that nonsense. It's literally how all of them work. This is uniform. I mean, even people, Jesus Christ. Anybody in the chat, please, fuck me. Has anybody in the chat room really ever been to a place that has server farms in them of any sort, or processing farms or any of that shit? Anybody ever been to fucking Google or Apple or any of those places? Like, or even seen these places. They're all designed that way for that reason. You fucking dipshit. They're all that way. There is zero that is special about this. And again, they're going to find out the hard way. He's so far ahead of everyone else. No, he's not. And that's why he needs all this fucking government money so he can get a jump start. And by the way, some folks are watching this on Twitter right now. You know what the server farms at fucking Twitter look like? They look like this. It's the same shit. It's just different, like different connectivity maybe with some of it. What are you talking about? Ah, God. It's but at least it's not hooked up to the kidney, you know.
The kidney has a very special place in the heart.
Yeah, okay, I would agree. Okay, we continue.
Same is true for the water system. Each cabinet has its own cooling management unit.
By the way, this is not that guy's voice, so do not hold anything against the tech who's explaining this, who's saying the exact same shit, I have no doubt, in whatever the original
At the base
footage.
that's responsible for monitoring flow rate and temperature.
Yes, it's available now from Super Micro. It's a double rack mounted. You can get it in units of 4 or perhaps 2 and run it. This is our parallel system, which is cool. It's basically a refrigerator. Jesus Christ.
With an individual water pump that can easily be removed.
By the way, this site sells a Cybertruck 2077 t-shirt for just $30. So, yeah.
And service. Now, the thing to keep in mind about gigantic computer systems like this is that...
Whoa, 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 whoa. Not like this. This is AI. This is fucking stock footage you got off of fucking Canva, you dumb motherfucker. This is... I wouldn't show this if you're showing what the real thing looks like, because it's clearly set up in an old office building, you dumb fuck. This looks like the room that fucking Quaid turns on in Total Recall. Where do I put my hand on the thing? Jesus Christ.
That things will break. There's no way to avoid that. But having a plan to keep failures localized and get problems solved as fast as possible, that is going to make an incredible difference in the overall productivity of the cluster. On the
Sorry. Okay, first of all, it starts to look way shittier after you show the other stuff, and like, who pulled the Ethernet cables on this? God damn it! The other thing is like, wait a minute. You think he invented having spare parts nearby? This is like a concept of an AI supercomputer.
The back of each cabinet is a rear door heat exchanger. That's basically just a really big fan that pulls air through the rack and facilitates the heat transfer from the hot chips to the...
No, it isn't. Because we have eyeballs. Stupid. No, it isn't. There's a fan on every unit because that's how NVIDIA distributes them, you big dummy.
the cool water. This replaces giant air conditioning units that are found in typical data centers, and again, keeps each...
Typical data centers don't do the kind of processing on GPUs like AI does anyways. It's a different fucking job. You don't get points. That's like saying the spokes on in a tire on a car are different than that on a bicycle. These hold a lot more weight because they have to. If you put fucking like car tires on a bicycle, it makes pedaling quite difficult.
Of the racks self-contained. Every fan is glowing with a colored light. That's not for aesthetics. It's a way for technicians to quickly identify failures. A healthy fan
glows blue. And it turns red if it breaks.
Will have a blue light, while a bad fan will switch to a red light. And
genius. Did Elon Musk come up with this in the middle of the night? Did he wake up and go, Eureka?
and they just replace those individual units as they go down. While GPU chips do the heavy lifting for AI training, CPU chips are used for preparing the data and running the operating system. There are 2 CPUs for every 8 GPUs. All of the data used to train Grok is held in a massive hard drive storage system. Exabytes of text, images, and video that are fed into the training cluster. One exabyte...
No. They are not... Hold on, fuckwad. They are not fed into the training cluster. That would be for a closed AI system. It scrapes from Twitter. That's what it does. It uses all the available internet stuff that, you know, it can get its hands on, as far as, like, I don't know, the fucking manual for every Samsung television is loaded in there, that kind of stuff. But it scrapes from Twitter. That's what it does. That's why it's a prick, and why it's eventually going to be racist as fuck. Like, the guardrails on Grok are going to have to be, like, they're welded in, or it's just going to go, actually, I think I figured out the Jewish problem. I'm dead serious.
Exabyte is 1 billion gigabytes, and all of that data is handled by a super high-speed network system. Data is moved around Colossus by Ethernet, but this is not anything like your home network. The XAI network is powered...
This is not an ad for Grok. This is not even an ad for Tesla. It's certainly not an ad for Elon Musk. It's an ad for NVIDIA, if you ask me. The fuck does this do if he this asshole do if he runs out of fucking NVIDIA chips? I mean, or they refuse to sell to him, or somebody else buys, gets in line ahead of him because they make profit on their shit, right? It's probably why he needs to be in fucking government, so he can get access to the government budget that buys these things.
By NVIDIA Bluefield 3 DPUs. That's a data processing unit, and these chips can handle 400 gigabits per second through a network of fiber optic cables. That's around 400 times faster than a very fast home internet connection.
Oh, child. Oh, child. Don't think we're that stupid. I know, I nerd out. I know I get way out over my fucking skis, nerding out in front of people. Don't you dare show me a fucking plugged-in Ethernet system, a Cat 6 cable, and then show me a Wi-Fi router. Don't you fucking show me a blinking Wi-Fi router and say average, you motherfucker. You don't get to do that. He's the richest man in the world. It's not liquid. It's other people's money, and it can come and go. And he'd have to sell a bunch of his stock to get all that money out, and he can't, or it would tank the stock. That's the modern robber baron's conundrum.
Ethernet is necessary for scaling beyond the size of a traditional supercomputer system. See, AI training requires a massive amount of storage that needs to be accessible by every server in the data center. Now, this massive amount of equipment requires an equally massive amount of power. And again, XAI has done something totally unique with their energy delivery.
Oh man, this is going to piss me off, isn't it? This is going to make me mad. It's going to make me mad. I just know it. It's fucking... I'm afraid to watch. Hi, Rob Glenn. You're probably hating this as much as I am. Fuck me.
They are using Tesla energy. Colossus...
Tesla energy? Is that different than regular electricity? You mean they're using solar and batteries just like Apple does? You fucking weirdo.
Doesn't use solar energy. It's draining power from traditional generators. But there was a problem that XAI encountered when they started to bring their 100,000 GPU system online. The
Memphis power grid? Gee, what could possibly go wrong? I've always thought of Memphis as one of the biggest energy hubs in the country.
Any millisecond variations in power coming from the grid would create inconsistencies in the training process. We are talking very small fluctuations, but at this giant scale.
Okay. Now he's just trying to piss me off. So you need a, so basically that array of fucking batteries outside is a wall wart. It's just to regulate the current. It's a current regulator. So that you think a data center of any sort wouldn't have exactly that, you weirdo?
Those will add up quickly. So the solution was to bring in Tesla Megapack battery units. So what they do now is
They pipe it all into the batteries, and then the energy that comes out of the batteries is consistent. They're using them as a transformer. Brilliant. What a great idea. Yeah, again, the word training.
Input power from the grid into the Megapacks. Then the batteries discharge directly into the training cluster.
So who pees on the electric fence? Don't whiz on the electric fence. Look, I know lightning is yellow to most people, but this looks like nerd porn to me. I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum, but this scene deserved to be cut out of Godzilla.
Cluster. This provides the super consistent direct.
I've never seen Optimus Prime pee in the mouth of a Decepticon before.
Energy required for the entire network to have the most efficient training session that is physically possible. This unique energy upgrade will become even more critical when XAI doubles.
Dude, I can do without the time-lapse plumber's crack.
The size of Colossus to over 200,000 H100 GPUs, something that Elon claims will happen within the next 2 months.
Yes. Remember when he said we'd have automatic taxis and that your Tesla would be driving around town picking up strangers in the middle of the night and dropping them off in places, and you could make money off of your car in 2017? No, by 2017. Sorry, he said it by 2017.
That is an insane rate of growth, and it's got the...
Yeah, I agree. By the way, congrats to the people
established
at
AI
Ryobi
giant
because apparently the batteries that Ryobi uses are just killer. They work great. Yeah.
There have been reports that OpenAI CEO Sam Altman has already told Microsoft executives that he's concerned Elon will soon overtake them in access to computing power. Of course, this stuff ain't cheap. It was just a few...
That was when they were buying, as he was telling Microsoft, buy me a bunch of the next best chips. That's when that happened.
2 months ago, that XAI raised $6 billion in venture capital funding, bringing
okay.
the one-year-old company to a valuation of $24 billion. That's a lot of money for a young company that only had one basic product on the market at the time. But they did have the richest man in the world at the controls, so obviously that counts for a lot.
Again, people add that 26 billion to his net worth, and it's not. He's got to, just like Trump's buildings, he's got to pay it back. This dude is Trump. He is to technology what Trump is to buildings. Trump Tower is a big shiny building, but it smells like shit and it's largely empty. And in the beginning of it, it had a lot of promise. Just like SpaceX. There's a lot of great people working at SpaceX, and he ain't one of them. Just saying.
Now, we've just seen reports from the Wall Street Journal that Elon is already looking for a lot more money, enough to bring the value of XAI to $40
I'm sure he is.
billion. For a sense of scale, the industry giant OpenAI is currently valued at $157 billion. While a smaller scale operation like Perplexity, who makes a highly regarded AI search tool, they're expected to soon hit a valuation of $8 billion.
Right. Dude has Twitter, which started being worth $40 billion. Grok is the Twitter AI bot. That's the primary function of it. And Perplexity's already in the green. They're in the black in this.
As for Grok, the AI chatbot is continuing to rapidly evolve thanks to new power provided by Colossus. Just recently, Grok was upgraded to include vision capabilities, meaning that the AI can analyze and comprehend input from images alongside its existing text functions.
Awesome. So basically, you're telling me it can do what all the other AI companies can do 6 weeks later. Sounds very cutting edge. See where I'm going with this?
This new feature is integrated into the X social media platform for premium users. Now, when you see an image in a post, you can click a button to send that image to Grok, where you can now ask the AI any question you want about the content of that image.
Wow. You don't say. You mean the thing that's available in my Meta Nerd Halen glasses from the camera on it is now available just through a few clicks and I guess typing?
Grok can analyze or provide additional context. This
awesome. So it can look at a picture and tell me what I'm seeing with my own eyes? Excellent. Now, granted, the value of AI being able to do that is, a lot of Perplexity, Claude, Copilot does this, I believe, right now. Certainly the Meta one does it. You can turn on the camera on your phone and go, what the fuck am I looking at? It allows them to, go through, and go, oh, what's the size of that bolt or nut in case you're looking at something and you're trying to figure out how to fix something, it'll tell you. Okay.
This is an important step for XAI.
It has value, but very seldom is it shit that comes up on X. X is really behind the curve, yes.
On their path towards achieving artificial...
Good, Jody. That's what I'm here for, and that's what's going to happen.
General intelligence. That's a big buzz term right now. It basically...
hey, asshole, if you're going to talk about AGI, don't talk ASI in the fucking beginning with artificial super intelligence, you absolute dipshit.
Just means an AI that can do pretty much anything. Essentially...
Yeah, that's great. That's a great explanation. Congratulations. Yeah, Rob, I think we can agree. My buddy Rob Glenn, I'm sure, is in the chat a little bit. Rob, I think we can agree that AGI means an AI that can do basically anything.
An artificial reproduction of the human mind and its incredible versatility.
No. No, that's not what it means.
We can write words. We can make music. We can solve complex problems, invent new things. In theory, an artificial general intelligence would have all of the knowledge of the entire human race, all concentrated into one super powerful computer brain, making it
Yes, we all saw the big glowing thing in the middle of the building in iRobot. Fabulous. Even your graphics are years behind.
Infinitely smarter than any human being. Then the AGI can use that knowledge to learn even more, to discover the undiscoverable, solve the unsolvable, invent the uninventable.
Yeah, if it's unsolvable, you can't solve it, or wouldn't actually. I think you're missing the word seemingly. Dum-dum. Okay, so now, yes, in theory. This is arguably what we're up against. This is the threat.